rather than working with each other and hanging out with each other and the good spirit. People just can't seem to get along, and so it really puts a bad feeling between people. And, rather than fighting, you should all stick together and hang out as one and revel in the fact that you are all brothers and sisters and love one another. And then you could have a lot more, instead of a lot of funerals, you should have a lot more parties, a lot more picnics, and a lot more handshaking and dancing and eating good food that is from your past. Just dance and love. And so instead of fighting and hating, you should all just be sharing and loving. So the gun should go down and the hand should come up. And it just makes everybody feel scared. And I think that there is a lot of problems with certain cultures that should show everybody how you have overcome certain balances in your life and how you have made things in your life better for your culture. And fighting and killing, well, that's just bringing everybody down. Not just you, but everyone. It's bringing your city down, it's bringing your neighborhoods down, and it's bringing your people to a pain that they can never replace. You're killing each other, you're killing your sisters, your brothers, you're killing people that you should be bonding with and showing everybody how strong you can be as one. But you are eliminating each other, and that is a very sad thing for your people, for your city, for your community, for your mothers who have to cry and bury y'all. It's sad for your aunts and your uncles, and for your babies you're leaving behind, for the women that love you, for people who have to look down in your coffin and say what could have been is no longer. That's how I feel about the gun violence in our city. That one day they will see that this fighting is just eliminating each other. This gang violence just eliminates each other. Why don't they bond as they each know of an anger they both have? So bonding would seem to be more constructive. All of the things that you are doing is eliminating one another, leaving people behind that love you, whether you do bad or good. They don't care. They just want you alive. So the gun violence is taking you out. This is not productive. Be together. Show each other how much fun you can have together. Dance, sing together, eat together, meet together, but leave the violence behind. It's just no fun. It's not productive. And don't you want to see what the future holds for you and yours?
How do you feel about the gun violence on the South Side?
I think it is an epidemic that is plaguing certain communities, and I believe it is a detriment to this generation.
What do you think will help benefit the South and West Siders as a community as it relates to gun violence involving the youth?
I believe there needs to be more education in and around gun violence, in and around gun laws. I believe education is the key to getting our youth to the place where we want them instead of the place where they are. I also think the penalties need to be more stiff for the guns coming into our country and into our states and cities, not just for the users of those weapons.
Are you aware that there is only one hospital located downtown for youth victims of Chicago?
Unfortunately, yes, because I was a victim of gun violence myself as a youth. I'm more than just aware.
Do you feel that South and West Siders would benefit if there was a hospital closer?
I do believe that the victims of gun violence could would definitely benefit from more trauma units being in different hospitals throughout the South and West Side. Just in as much as the time that it takes an ambulance to get a victim to the only hospital that is considered a trauma unit, it would definitely reduce the time that that victim is waiting without medical attention.
Well, the gun violence in Chicago and I think it's no worse than any other state. However, we are always pinpointed as the worst place because we're Chicago. And before the violence started here many, many moons ago, the gangsters were here, and that's what really made our state seem to be the worst of all. But I think we're like this all over the area, all over the state, so I just don't think we should be pinpointed for being the worst.
Gun violence. Well, about the news of one of our students from Robinson got shot because I guess one of his friends were part of the gang members. So I guess that affected mostly to everybody. And I suppose also in the news explained about other gun violence and other some parts of the world. The effects, well, I guess it affects a lot mostly on like all the emotions. Probably gets them scared of either the neighborhood, of the people who live there surrounding it, might move somewhere else and tell other people not to come to this place or that place because it might affect of not having people come here or there.
Okay.
I suppose being more policemen to go around the neighborhood at least like twice an hour, or having some watchers and getting to secretly in order to see things are going well and not having gun violence to be curable to people.
What?
For community, for the program, I suppose like video cameras will work as mostly to connect from here to the police station to see how things are looking from the outside. If they could see it from what's happening from the program, then they could see how things going.
Okay, thank you.
Community. Community is where everybody lives together. They pitch in to help each other out, and how should I put this? It's like your own little family that you have, like big in a sense.
All right.
Oh, it's destroying it. Because of gun violence, community store owners don't even want to give back to the community, as in the money that they make. They should be able to give it back to the community to make the community better. But because of gun violence, nobody really wants to. They don't really make that much business, and they don't want to give back the money, the little money that they have. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm not really big on solving problems, But what could they do? I guess come up with programs that will put the youth. That will be for youth to hang out, play, teach them how to basically live in our world today. Because today in our world is mostly sick. Parents don't even have time, especially working class parents. They can always keep an eye on their kids, so then they find role models that are bad for them. So with the community, making programs that have positive role models for the kids, it might actually be able to reduce gun violence in our neighborhood community. Well, to begin with, they can do it instead of always putting them behind bars. They should at least give them a ticket or a warning or something, to set them up straight. Or at least if you're going to put them in jail, they're kids, they're still learning the way in life. So at least put them in a program that will benefit them rather than destroy them.
Okay. Are you aware of any community projects in the area that offers help?
Yeah, for violence in the community, in Rogers Park community, the Ceasefire organization is a great organization that helps students and community members, when there's violence in the community, come together and try to figure out what's going on and try to make sure that there's no more violence when an incident like a shooting happens or a fight in the neighborhood, and they're a great organization. Also, Circles and Ciphers is a great organization that brings people together for peace circles and tries to help communities.
What are some of the underlying problems of this community?
I think some of the underlying problems in all of the city of Chicago and the community is just poverty and the lack of jobs for people, people in need of jobs to get themselves back up off the ground. Also, our youth, not completing their high school education and moving on to college. Education is the key to future success, and if you don't complete high school, it's really hard to go to college, and then if you don't complete college, it's really hard to find a job that is well paying enough to sustain a family and income for yourself, so you can have the American dream.
What community organizations and services would you like to see in your community?
Like I said before, I really like to see more opportunities for teenagers to get jobs in all types of fields, from healthcare to childcare to jobs in businesses and internships. Getting students to start working in the summers or in holiday time periods, but also places for teens and community members to go to do things that are positive in nature, like even just to go somewhere, play basketball on the weekends, or do sports, or work out, or join activities like arts and music. Just places for teenagers and community members to go that are more positive in the nature. So many students and teenagers sometimes just hanging out on the corner, hanging on the block, and just not enough opportunities for them to do something positive with their talents and with their creativity. And I think that would be a really unique opportunity if we would look into more opportunities for them to have places to go in the evenings, during the week, or in the weekends.
You feel at home in your community, bro?
Yeah, I feel home. It's cool. Everything smooth, I guess. I guess I'm used to it, you feel me? I feel home, though. I know.
What do you like or dislike about your community now, and what would you do to change it?
Oh, like what I like about my community now and stuff, you feel me? Like, I like that people is into music and stuff, you got some people out here, trying to do good, but, like, getting into music is what I mainly think is what's, keeping the community, at its pace right now, what I think people can do to help the community is, like, like get into, after school programs and stuff, not be on the block and not be on the streets or nothing, yeah,